Hello there, friends. It's Pastor Don, and it's time for this week's episode of PD on pop culture. And this week, I want to actually did get back to seeing a movie this week, so I'm gonna get back in the swing of talking about movies. And I'm actually going to do something that I don't think I have done before, and that is I'm going to tell you about a film that I liked, but I'm not going to recommend you go see it. Let me explain. Thursday, I went with my younger daughter and her friend Sean and Delilah to see The Suicide Squad. Now, this is a second attempt at getting this franchise. The Suicide Squad is a DC Comics property. And the basic premise of Suicide Squad comic books is that these are bad guys who are being used to do maybe questionable missions that are good for the world. So it's an interesting concept. And then if they try to go off and do things on their own, there are consequences to that could end their lives. So if they succeed, they get time off of their sentences, and if they don't succeed or they try to escape, well, anyway, that's why it's called the Suicide Squad. This one, there was an attempt at this a few years ago. I think I've talked about it or maybe wrote about it. It was not a very good movie. The first one was the best parts of it were just some interactions between Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn and Will Smith as Deadshot. Those scenes where they interacted with each other were gold. Everything else was fool's gold, garbage. This one, story wise, character development wise, was much better. There were jokes in it that I found funny. The audience laughed. But the downside to this film was that it was very violent, very gory, lots of questionable language that I don't know was necessary. Now, you have to understand this film was made by James Gunn. He was the director. He was also the guy that gave us Guardians of the Galaxy, which in the Marvel universe was basically an unknown property. And Gunn took them and made two films that made them prominent characters in the Marvel cinematic universe, just by how he made those characters funny and interesting. This film is more like they let James Gunn make an NC-17 version of Guardians of the Galaxy. So take some obscure characters and then just do all the adult humor you want, make all the jokes that you would only make an adult company, etc., etc. Now, it is rated R, but probably could have pulled an NC-17 rating, I think. It's not for everybody. It's really not. Like I said, I laughed. I didn't hate the movie. I thought it was fun, but I think it does appeal to the baser nature in us. And so maybe we all need that, blow off a little steam in that direction sometimes, but I'm not sure it's healthy for you. Steady dive, it's certainly not. Christian wise, I would say that there is a strong redemption arc in the story. So, people who are, really not very likable, kind of bad guys at the beginning, and by the end, you're really rooting for them and you hope they succeed. And some do and some do not. So, in that sense, maybe there's a real life thing here, but there's also that redemptive angle to it. There's one kind of funny line with Harley Quinn where she's carrying a javelin that she says that she's was given to her by God, or she's waiting for God to tell her what to do with it. And one of the other guys, one of the other characters says, using Jesus' name in vain, says Jesus Christ, and she says, yeah, or him too. I'll take anybody's advice on this. It was kind of funny, a little blasphemous, obviously, but still, it had little moments that were okay, but overall, just trying to pick out the little things out of this would kind of tough. So anyway, if this sort of thing doesn't bother you, um, it's a fun romp. It's very loud. I have to say, the soundtrack is very loud. There's, very much like Guardians of the Galaxy James Gunn movies. There's a lot of, old popular songs in it that kind of carry the story along, which is great. For a guy my age to hear the songs from my youth and movies of today, it's fun. Um, but if you don't like that sort of thing, you don't like the language, this is not a film for you. I guarantee you it's not a film for you. Anyway, that's my thoughts on it. I hope you're all doing well. Take care and God bless. We'll see you soon. Bye now.